Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Adelia Devi Purnamasari from 3D PIKBB. Today I would like to show you about my result of the case study, the Tylenol murders. First is what might have been the consequence if Johnson & Johnson had decided to talk up the first report of the Tylenol-related and not recall the products. So, if the Johnson & Johnson had decided to took out the first reports of Tylenol-related deaths and not recall the products, the consequence could have been severe. The company reputation would likely have been significantly damaged, leading to a loss of consumer trust and confidence not only in Tylenol but potentially in other Johnson & Johnson products as well. Legal repercussions could have ensued, including lawsuits and regulatory action, which might have resulted in hefty fine and damage to the company's financial standing. Moreover, there could have been additional deaths or injuries, further exacerbating the crisis and intensifying public outrage. Next is what other public relations option did Johnson & Johnson have in responding to the first round of the Tylenol murders? So, Johnson & Johnson had several other public relations options in responding to the first round of Tylenol murders. These options include issuing public statements expressing concern and sympathy for the victims and their families, cooperating fully with law enforcement investigation, implementing enhanced tamper-resistant packaging measures, launching extensive consumer education campaigns about product safety, and offering refunds or exchange for Tylenol products as a goodwill gesture to the consumers. Next is, do you think the company made a wise decision by reintroducing extra strength Tylenol? So, whether or not reintroducing extra strength Tylenol was a wise decision depends on various factors, including the effectiveness of the new tamper-resistant packaging and the extent to which consumers perceive the product as safe. If Johnson & Johnson had taken sufficient measures to address the concern raised by the tampering incidents and had regained the trust of consumers through transparent communication and rigorous safety protocols, then the decision to reintroduce the product may have been justified. However, if there were lingering doubts about the safety of the product, or if the tamper-resistant packaging was deemed inadequate, reintroducing extra-strength Tylenol could have been seen as premature and potentially risky. Number 4 is, in light of the response of other companies not to move precipitously when faced with a crisis, do you think Johnson & Johnson should have attacked act so quickly to remove the Tylenol products when the second round of Tylenol murders occurred in 1986? The decision by Johnson & Johnson to act quickly to remove the Tylenol product when the second round of Tylenol murders occurred in 1986 can be viewed as prudence given the grave public health risks posed by the tampering incident. Waiting to take action could have resulted in further harms to consumers and exacerbate the crisis, leading to even more severe consequences for the company's reputation and financial stability. By acting swiftly and decisively, Johnson & Johnson demonstrated a commitment to prioritizing consumer safety above all else, which likely helped to mitigate the fallout from the crisis. Number 5. is what specific lessons can be derived from the way in which Johnson and Johnson handles the public relation aspect of the tragedy. Specific lessons derived from the way Johnson and Johnson handled the public relations aspect of the Thailand tragedies include the importance of prioritizing consumer safety, transparency, and swift action in response to crisis. Johnson and Johnson proactive approach to crisis management, including its willingness to recall the product despite the significant financial costs involved, set a precedent for corporate responsibility and earned the company widespread praise for its handling of the situation. The case also underscored the importance of effective communication with stakeholders, including consumers, the media, regulators, and law enforcement agencies in times of crisis. Next is what was the media environment when the talent crisis occurred? How might the result have differed if the crisis occurred today? So, the media environment during the talent crisis in 1980 was characterized by traditional forms of mass communication such as newspaper, television, and radio. The speed and the reach of information dissemination were relatively limited compared to today's digital era, where news spread rapidly through social media platforms, online, and mobile devices. If the crisis occurred today, the result might have differed in several ways, including a faster and more widespread dissemination information, increased public security, and pressure on the company via social media channels, and the potential of disinformation and rumors to spread rapidly, posing additional challenges for is do you think that how do this station demonstrate Johnson and Johnson concern for customers? How do you think Johnson and Johnson use this website to communicate with the public in new health scare surveys? Made a wise decision by reintroducing extra strength of Tylenol. So Johnson and Johnson Tylenol website demonstrates the company concern for customer transportation such as Force, OSCOL, and FAQ section, which provide valuable information about product safety, usage guidelines, and steps to take in case of emergency. By offering easily accessible research and support services, Johnson and Johnson aims to reassure consumers and address their concern about talented products. In the event of new healthcare, Johnson and Johnson would likely use its website to communicate promptly and transparently with the public, providing updates on the situation, setting safety precautions, and offering guidance of how to respond effectively. Additionally, the company might utilize social media platform and email newsletter to reach a wider audience and facilitate two-way communication with a consumer. The valuable lessons from the Tylenol case study include the importance of transparency and openness in crisis communication, swift and decisive action prioritizing consumer safety, effective engagement with stakeholders, including the media, consumer, and authorities. Four is adapting and innovating in responding to challenges such as enhancing product safety measures. And the last is upholding corporate responsibility and maintaining integrity even if in the face of adversity. So the first is transparency and openness in crisis communication. So Johnson and Johnson's decision to immediately open its doors to the media and admit mistakes such as the false statement regarding cyanide demonstrate transparency. This approach helps maintain credibility and trust with the public. The second is swift and decisive action prioritizing consumer safety. Despite believing that the tampering didn't occur during manufacturing, Johnson and Johnson prioritizing consumer safety by recalling Tylenol product and halting advertising. This proactive response mitigates further harms and demonstrates a commitment to consumer well-being. The third, effective engagement with stakeholders. So, Johnson& Johnson engagement with various stakeholders, including the media, consumer, and authorities, to manage the crisis. By actively communicating updates, addressing concerns, and collaborating with law enforcement, the company maintained control of the narrative and restored confidence in its brand. Number four, adapting and innovating in response to shocks. The introduction of triple sealed tamper-resistant packaging showcased the company's ability to innovate and address safety concerns. Despite the financial cost, the investment helped rebuild consumer trust and prevent future incidents. The last is upholding corporate responsibility and maintaining integrity. Throughout the crisis, Johnson and Johnson remained committed to its value and corporate responsibility. The decision to offer replacement for unused capsule production altogether reflected a dedication to prioritizing public safety over financial consideration. That's all from my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.